What up? Welcome back to this week's episode of That Guy Trip. Today's topic is why so competitive. Playing words. Anyways, during this whole today's episode, I'm actually gonna be talking about why I'm such a competitive person. And the main reason why I'm so competitive is my baseball career. Um, and by career, I mean how long I played baseball. I never got into semi-pros or pros. I didn't really play college ball either due to my arm injury. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get this started. I started playing baseball at a very young age. My dad introduced me, I believe, t-ball when I was around 4 or 5 or so. Um, he brought me into t-ball, and then I just started grinding out through there. I always played t-ball for, I believe, actually no, correction. I played 1 year of baseball through Mira Mesa's youth program, um, and I did decent on it. I think I played 1 year of t-ball there, and then from there I switched over to the Little League system. Shout out to you, Mira Mesa West Little League. I had a lot of years with you. You're great. But yeah, so I started playing in the Mira Mesa West Little League, and I started grinding through there. I played all the way. Started young and then played all the way until recently. Baseball actually took control of a huge part of my life. I played about 17 years of my life. I did play baseball. Actually, well, I was playing baseball probably a good like 13 years of my life, like hardcore, playing year round, spring, winter, summer. But then I stopped after high school due to an arm injury and a shoulder injury, which I didn't really. Doctors had said it was non-inflammatory, and they said I could get surgery, but I chose not to. I just decided to stop playing baseball. Instead, I took up gaming, and then I also took up golf, which is actually a great sport. But yeah, so fun story. When I was young, I actually was playing catch with my mother at one of my old houses, and then I think my dad was just in there and just teaching me how to throw, and then I was throwing it to my mom, and I don't know if I was throwing a regular baseball or throwing the softball, but I chucked it. I chucked it hard, and actually hit my mother right in the forehead. Sorry for that, mom, but because of you, I became actually quite good at baseball. But yeah, with that being said, my dad actually pushed me through a lot of baseball, and I know at times I did want to quit. During my minor league season, which like anywhere from 8 to 12 in baseball, I had we'll call temper tantrums. I was playing for my one of my good buddies' dad's teams, and I was pitching at the time, and at the time when I struck out or got out a batter, I would pretty much rage. I would get really pissed off, but it actually helped me pitching. It's weird. I would get pissed off. I would take my anger out when I was pitching, and I was just zooming the ball. Well, I was quite accurate, but when it came down to it, when I struck out, it got in my head, and then it actually prevented me from getting on the All Star team because I couldn't control my anger. Um, I didn't do anything like verbally assault anyone or anything like that. I kept the anger to myself. I just bullied up. I did stuff where I was like, I didn't curse at the time. I just like grabbed my bat and like threw it against the fence. It threw my helmet on the ground and stuff like that. But fast forward to my next, we'll call it division, which is majors, is where a lot of people know the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Um, and that's when I got my first All Star team. Um, from there, I'm an infielder. At the time, I was actually a utility player. I played every position, actually, like catcher. And then yeah, I pretty much second base. Played middle infield sometime. But that's when I started getting a lot better. I controlled a lot of my anger. Started getting better with my swing. And then I played for a few of my buddies, like Tyler Saladino. I don't know if you met him. We played on the Diamondbacks in the majors, and I think lost 1 or 2 games. We lost in the divisional tournament champions. We lost in the last map about Call of Duty talk. Last match against I forgot who it was, but it was a disappointing loss, especially since we rocked every team due to some not clerical errors, but some few mistakes that we made. We ended up losing in the tournament champions. But let's fast forward over to my junior season, baseball, which is when I really started shining. I played for, once again, my friend's team. If you don't know him, his name is Robbie Cook, or Cookie, for watching this. Thank you. Thank you, and your dad. You two constantly picked me during tryouts and helped me get a lot better because of you two, especially Coach Billy, who I've yet to thank. It made me into a really good baseball player. They taught me to, who I used to be scared of ground balls, even though I'm an infielder, which is kind of weird. But they pushed me a lot harder doing like short hop drills and stuff like that to learn to. It's just a ball. Temporary pain, it passes. So I actually ended up becoming really better. I didn't dive as much as a kid, but I was I was quick. I have great reaction time, so I was able to get to a lot of the balls. My arm wasn't the strongest. I was at the time freaking tiny. So second base was perfect. My range was good. My eyes were good. Accuracy was decent, but what I was really good at is bunt and my speed. I know at the time I was playing with my buddy Chris LePage. Me and him was actually uh, in a contest to see who can have the highest amount of hits, highest batting average, and most stolen bases. I think I won in stolen bases. He beat me in hits, and I think we tied in RBIs. But man, we were rocking it. There's a lot of players that I played with that helped me get a lot better, and I actually miss playing baseball with. Um, uh, Obviously, there's Robert Cook. There's Chris Smith, Chris LePage, uh, Martin Bituin, I believe his name was, Junior, Tyler Saladino, Damian Ramirez, there's Kyle Scarry, Kevin Borkert, Corbin Dean, um, what's up? Stephen Mayo, Talon Fischler, Michael Noon, Devin Holter. Who else is there? Diego Hernandez. There's a lot of players, and if I miss you, William Rayner, another one. If I didn't mention you, I apologize. But we actually rocked it that well too. We are pretty good. We didn't win any divisions with any of those teams, but we'd always make it in the playoffs. But let me fast forward into high school. High school, I played freshman and JV baseball. JV is actually when I actually stopped playing baseball due to my arm injuries. But prior to that, we played freshman and we did pretty good. And then went over to senior ball, and that's when I was coached by Blaze. His dad, and we actually rocked it. We made all the way to section. We won our division, made it in sectionals, and we got pretty far, but we ended up losing into like a game that's went into 17 innings when we made one costly error in center field where our center fielder overran the ball. Then they finally scored because it was scoreless into the 17th, and then it kind of fell downhill from there. But we did pretty good in there. I think I made All Stars about 6 times, not all consecutively. There was times where I couldn't make playoffs because I couldn't play in All Stars because I was going on family trips, seeing my grandparents and stuff like that, or just personal stuff. I had multiple surgeries on my left ear due to an ear infection, so that also took me out of the All Stars a few times. One thing that I do respect and I actually cherish is one of my old coaches and one of the best coaches I felt other than Coach Robert Cook and Billy is Charlie Walker. If you guys know him, he's one of the people I definitely look up into. Who helped me get become a better player and better person. He actually nominated me to what he called his all-time all-star team. He named me as his second baseman, and he actually purchased me a baseman A2000 Wilson A2000, which is top of the line glove, and he presented it to me. I feel very honored that I still have that glove to this date. I use it pretty much every time I go play baseball, I use it. I love that glove. Love that glove. God, I can't even talk now. Love that glove. And I cherish him for that. And I thank you if you're watching this. I thank you for giving that to me and naming me an all-star for your second baseman. But there's a few things like I do miss playing baseball. I can't play baseball anymore. And I know excuses. I just should man up and do it. But when it comes down to it, I can't throw a baseball with power anymore for more than like probably 20 throws because my shoulder starts getting inflamed. My elbow is a lot better though. Other than that, my eyesight is dropped. My knees are not that good either. And I have problems with my ankles. So it's when it comes like I can still hit. I still know how to run bases and steal a lot of bases, but I just can't actually physically put my body through that much pain anymore. But yeah, baseball is pretty much the reason why I am quite a competitive player. My dad helped me out, and along with all the teams and coaches and stuff like that helped train me into becoming an athlete like I am. Now, even though I just transported myself into the esports electronic athlete, I guess you want to call it. But yeah, that's the reason why I'm such a competitive player, whether it's through video game, whether it's on the baseball diamond or the gridiron or whatnot. I'm definitely I take things quite seriously, especially when something's, we'll call it, a status is attained through it. But yeah, with that being said, I believe that's what I'm gonna end it at. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any comments on why you're so competitive, or what some sport that helped build you, or people that help build you into a better person, let's leave a comment down below. I love reading comments, and then I'll be more than happy to communicate with you, because I know I have a lot of mentors that help me progress throughout my life and help me grow to a better person. But yes, with that being said, I know I said this, I'm going to just reiterate it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It helps me out. I cherish it. I love everything I see from you guys. I'm going to leave a link to my my Twitter down below, along with my sponsors and so on and so forth, because I play for HXP Gaming. And with that being said, trip out, and why so competitive? TriPP!